Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I know this weekend seems so sad. It's a sad weekend, and I think we should celebrate life, right? We shouldn't celebrate when we die, and that's when you really remember people. We should actually celebrate when we're still alive and we're still here. So I'm going to celebrate tonight, and I'm going to take action by providing tools and also ideas that you can do for self care. It's super important. Um, if you don't know, Jessica Harvey was one of our co author Beyond Boundaries, and she went over to the Rainbow Bridge this weekend, and we're celebrating her life. Although I am sad, I need to concentrate on how I can honor our short time but a lifetime of friendship together. And a lot of people are doing something for Jess, but how I can honor her is to provide self-compassion conversations tonight and making sure that you guys know you are not alone. I share this because this is Jess. Actually, she was the second person out of the 20th co-authors that we have. She was the second person to sign up for Rebel, and her and I had a Zoom call and a discussion of what she wants to write. She wants to concentrate on the healthcare system, making sure that when you are in the healthcare, especially if you're a surgeon, you do your due diligence to promise and elevate your oath that you promise to help others, right? So this is just a post 2 weeks ago. And you never know when we expire. So let's celebrate each other today. I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing her, well, tomorrow I will do that. Her chapter, and I'm going to put it on Spotify so you guys can actually share that with everyone on what Jess is all about. But tonight we're going to share this. See if I can share it. You guys see that one, right? I'm going to talk about self-compassion. Now, our objective tonight, and you're probably wondering, CJ, you're not a psychiatrist nor a psychologist. You're right. I am studying psychology. I have a cognitive behavior therapy practitioner. I do have emotional intelligence practitioner as well. They're all certifications and vetted by third party. I'm working on my neurolinguistics. I'm also working on my third master's in psychology. I might convert that to PhD in psychology because I love understanding human behavior, right? The objective tonight is to cultivate self compassion by recognizing and soothing yourselves during difficult moments. And this is definitely what I consider difficult moments. Now, here's the instructions, guys. First thing is when you're going through a difficult moment, you need to pause and acknowledge. Don't try to hide your feelings of disbelief or shocked or hurt or pain. Pause and then acknowledge, right? When you notice yourself feeling stressed, upset, or experiencing negative self talk, take a moment to pause for a minute. Acknowledge the emotion or situation that it's causing you distress, and it could be as simple as saying to yourself, this is a difficult moment, or I'm feeling stressed right now, right? Recognizing common humanity. Remind yourself that you are not alone in this experience, that everyone faces challenges, we make mistakes, or feel inadequate at times. But say something like, I'm not alone in this. Others experience these feelings too. Or this is part of being a human being. You're not putting it out, you're acknowledging it, but you're also not having bad self talk to yourself. Practice self kindness. Place your hands over your heart. Give yourself a gentle hug and close your eyes. And offer yourself some comforting words. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend in the same situation. We're so quick to say, I am so sorry to hear this, right? It's okay to feel this way. I'm going to be kind to myself in this moment. You offer good advice to friends. Take your own advice. It's really hard, I know. Breathe and reflect. Take a few Deep breaths, allowing the compassion to really sink in. Reflect on how this practice made you feel. Did it help to ease your stress or shift your perspective? Let's take a moment for just, but let's do 5 deep breaths. Ready? 2 more. This time, when you inhale, hold it for 5 seconds. Exhale through your nose, not through your mouth. One more time. Inhale, pause for 5 seconds. Exhale through your nose, not through your mouth. What it is when you pause and hold your breath is you're telling your brain to be intentional. You're counting 5 seconds in your brain to be intentional on that breathing. Now repeat that as needed. Incorporate self compassion. Break whenever you encounter difficult moments throughout your day, right? The more you practice, the more natural it will become to respond to yourself with kindness. Now, tip, you can also create a personalized self compassion mantra to use during these breaks, such as I'm doing my best, and that's enough, or I deserve love and understanding. This should actually help you interrupt negative thought and patterns, embrace your emotions, and treat yourself with kindness you deserve so that you can ultimately foster more compassionate relationship with yourself. Now, these I created and found the 10 strong positive affirmation and mantras, and you're going to use this, put it on a sticky note if you want to. Stick it everywhere in your house, not just in one place, in your house. I am worthy of love, happiness, and success. I trust myself to make the best decisions for my life. I am resilient, strong, and capable of overcoming any challenge. I choose to focus on the positive and embrace the good in my life. I am constantly growing, evolving, and becoming my best self. I deserve to take up space and be heard. I am grateful for the abundance that flows into my life. I radiate confidence, self respect, and inner harmony. I forgive myself for past mistakes and move forward with compassion. I am in control of my thoughts and I choose peace and positivity. Some of these mantras, you look at it and you read it and you don't believe it. Some of these I don't believe either, right? The more I say it, the more it's ingrained in my subconscious. It's so important to believe in yourself. Saying and doing needs to be aligned. Same thing for your subconscious. When you're saying it, but you're doubting what you're saying, it's not going to stick. So make sure that it sticks for you. All right. So, are you guys ready? I'm going to bring in my sisters. I actually have a guest today, but I'm going to bring Sister Susanna. Sis, how are you doing today?
As well as can be expected. It's it's been a tough day. It was a tough night last night. Tough from the moment I got that text. But
From
there's
me?
yep. But there's also, I mean, it was nice that you were with family when that happened, and I was on the phone with Danielle when we got that text. So even though I'm alone, it's like I wasn't alone because she was going someplace, but we were together until she got there, and so then everything was fine.
Yeah.
But we each deal with this in our own way too.
Yeah. Um, I want to concentrate on the living and the life that we choose and the words that we choose to let go and the energy and the effort that we choose to do for ourselves and for each other, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know, Michelle Ramos that much, but what I know is that she's very authentic and she's very patient with me when she DMs me and I don't respond right away because I have so much going on. She's patient and she's kind, but I also see fire and passion. It's
Oh
because
yes,
her true self is about just being herself. She doesn't want to be anybody else but her, right?
I
And
love
she
it.
owns her own crap. I almost said shite, but I think I'm gonna get canceled. I'm not about to get canceled tonight. Um, I'm gonna bring her in.
Hmm.
Michelle, you can drink. Doesn't matter. I drink
It's just water.
my
It's
coffee.
only water. It's only water.
I drink coffee all the time. How are you doing?
I mean, in light of the situation, I can say that I'm actually good. And it's because if I didn't have the family and the tribe that's been built over the last few months, I could say I would be bad. But knowing that I'm not alone and that there are authentic people that I'm in communication with right now, that their words and their actions, and it's beautiful.
It's isn't it funny that we don't know Jess that long and that well, really, right? But yet we love her so much. We really do not know how we impact other people. Like if it
Yeah.
is time for me to expire, guys, I don't want you to cry. You need to promise. You need to wear wigs. You need to wear makeup. You need to dance like it's my birthday. Go shorty. That's literally me. Like you guys have to celebrate me that way. I will come back and pull your feet when you're sleeping if you don't. That's a promise. Okay? You need to celebrate life and you need to choose happiness. I don't want you guys to remember me as, very sad. I want you to remember me as a happy person, right? And we need that positive energy and like our conversation, with Karen and with everybody else from the show that you need to be yourself. We keep telling ourselves we need to be ourselves, but here's the thing. The people that we surround ourselves with affect our mental capacity and our emotional well being, right? If I'm surrounding myself with negative Nellies all the time, as much as I love them, I would become negative Nelly too. What are your thoughts on that, Susanna?
Very much. That's exactly what it is. I know that when I look at who the closest people are to me, the overall energy, everything I feel from you and Danielle, it's safe. I feel safe to open up, to talk. It's hard for me to say some of the stuff that I probably should update you with, and that's issues that we all have from our past, whatever traumas from the past we're trying to get over. But until you two, there really was nobody else in my life. And we're talking, I'm closing in on the end of the fifth decade. And it's only in, it's only in this last year, especially, that I've been in that position where I can open up, I can say what's going on, what I'm thinking. And it's not a, you shouldn't think that way. It's not a, it's nothing except understanding, support, empathy, and then a gentle push.
Gentle. I'm like, Santa, go. Let's go. Here's
It's
the
pushing
thing.
you off a cliff.
I know, right? You're like, wait, hold on. Not that cliff. This cliff.
But
No,
she's
let me
the
go
only
back.
one that can get away with that.
It's true.
You know
You
what?
know
I trust to
why?
push me off that cliff.
No, you know why? It's because you know that I got your back.
Hmm.
You know that I don't have that type of insecurity to pull you down. I don't have that type of negativity to say something because I want to elevate myself. I elevate myself so I can elevate others. But I don't just talk about like, oh, I'm going to do this and that because of whatever. I say what I do and I do what I say. And I will go big or I'll go home. That's how I roll. That's always been my mantra. Um, and I say yes, and people's like, it's important to say no. It is. But I will say no to people I don't feel the energy, right? Now, Michelle, you're new to our crew.
I am. Thank you for letting me in it.
Of course.
I
We
don't
are
feel like I had to get into some exclusive sorority that I didn't want to be a part of.
no, we're very inclusive, but we got burned, so we're very careful on the energy that we let in because we don't want gossip and negativity and all of that. Like right now, I'm going through a lot, yet I'm still going through drama from people that they've created in their heads. I have no idea what they're doing and I don't really care. But now that we're here for Jess, we're here to celebrate her life and we're celebrating each other and being kind with each other. We do need to be compassionate with each other. What are
Yes.
some of the things you have a daughter too? What are some of the things that you say to yourself that's compassionate to yourself? Because I know you're going through a lot as well.
Um, it's really just been the last, I would say about year, it's really just been one sentence, and it's "You are worthy," and it's just that period. Because like for so long, I felt undeserving and not worthy, or like it just wasn't for me, meant for me, you know. And it's really just been embracing that, like I really do deserve this life I'm fighting for.
Yeah. Brother Ollie, thank you so much, and Matt and Noni and Kinga and Lisa and everyone here. Delwar, can you guys do me a favor? Can you guys share your mantra or things that when you feel so boxed in and your like emotions and you're hyperventilating, what are some of the things that get you through the day, get you through that hump, right? What are some of yours, Sister Susanna?
I'm not so much into the mantra as faith. So when I hit those walls and I don't feel like I have any place to turn at that moment, then I have my conversations with God. It's like, what's next? What am I supposed to do? How do I get out of this? Because I've seen a lot of doors open, especially the last few years. And so it when I hit that point, that's really that gives me the support. And then from that, it's like whatever pops in my head as the next. It's like that's the conversation. I say the prayer, I ask the question, and if something pops in my head, then I know that's what I have to do.
I think that is your mantra right there. The scriptures you read and the prayers you give, like that is your mantra.
I agree. And I think Sister Danielle would say the same thing too. Although she's not here to join us, she's going through her own stuff too. Is that faith is everything for her as well,
Yeah.
right? And I'm glad that we have faith, regardless of what your religion. Like, I joke around, but it's reality. My dad is Catholic, my mom is a Buddhist, and I'm a born again Christian. Imagine our conversation and dinner table, right? But that's when you have a disagreement, but you're not disrespectful, right? As an adult. And I love that my parents we can all disagree, but we agree to be kind and compassionate to each other. We put our energy where it needs to be, which is in the positive light, because life is hard. It's not easy. Life is so hard, guys, right? Don't pray like, oh my God, it's going to be easy. It's not worth living if it's everything is too easy. It's like when you're dating, right? I don't know about you guys, but I think I like a little bad boys. My husband's not listening, I hope. Okay, so, so like, for example, right? I have a lot of guys who liked me when I was younger, and they're so nice that they carry my books, and it was good for a week, and then I'm like, I'm bored. I can't handle this. But when
Yep.
some guy like kind of play hard to get, I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that. Like, ooh, he's playing hard to get. But then if it's too hard, I'm like, bye, boy. Like, I just go somewhere else, right? Um, and I love that about life because there are ups and downs. And right now we celebrate each other. Michelle, what are you grateful for having your daughter and having going through all of your adversity? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that I haven't quit. I'm grateful that despite everything that has happened, and as many times as I could have quit and it could have been justified, that I don't. I sometimes it's got to be the faith, because I don't. Some days I don't know where I do find the strength to keep going. Like there's so many battles at so many different systems and sectors and areas of life that it's like sometimes I don't even know if I'm coming or going, or I might be having a conversation with someone and then realize that ain't even the topic of conversation I needed to be having. It had to be something else. And it's just it's the fact that thus far, knock on wood, as painful and as hurtful and tiring as this journey's been, I feel these last couple months like I've had support from Keith and you and Annie and all these people, and I truly don't feel alone. And I'm grateful for that, because like it's like some weight got lifted off of my back and I was able to take a breath of air, and I'm just not alone. That's
It's important. I don't let Susanna see when you hang out with me too much, and I'm Kinga too. I feel that weird energy, and I'm like, oh, I gotta call these people. And Susanna, she'll say some words that triggers me that I know she might not be okay. I harass the hell out of her phone. I'll blow it up. I'm like, you call me, or the sheriff's gonna be knocking on your door. I know where you live. Like, I'm gonna call the sheriff if you don't open the door. And she knows better. She's like, I'm here. I don't want to talk. I'm like, you don't have no choice, sister. You're gonna talk to me. And she does the same thing for me. And she and Danielle and Kinga, and we created this because we want to be on each other's peripheral. And I'm so glad to welcome you because we talk about each other's problems, not other people's problems, just our problems.
Mhm.
And then we vent, and then we're like, okay, so what are we going to do with this? Oh, we're going to watch a movie right now. Let's go and watch Medea. Like, that's literally what we do. Like,
for me, it's like I'm dealing with so much in my own life. I don't got time to worry about yours. Like that, your problem ain't my problem unless we have. Like I'll give somebody. We will have that hard, intellectual, hard one conversation. After that one conversation, I don't want to talk about your problems ever again. We need to talk about the solutions.
thank you. Thank you. That's how I lead my people, right? When I was a manager, I always say, okay, I understand you have a problem, but come with me with three solutions and we'll figure out which one fits, right? Because you can go talk about your problems. There's a whole list of problems I got, but if I don't have any solutions, how are we going to fix it?
Yep.
Right? But also, I think we need to work on self doubt and self awareness. We need to be aware when we're at that negative thoughts. Like, if something is going on with my life right now and you come at me with your BS, my first inclination would be to put up my wall and be a biatch, right? Because I'm feeling something already. So we need to find a way to not just cope, but like really thrive in the moment and said, okay, let me be intentional in this conversation. This conversation that you're giving me is making me feel this way, right? That's when we have to have that conversation of disagreement, but no disrespect, right? And I love that you're so open to what you're going through and still feel like, you know what? If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you love me, then you love me. Otherwise, just get off my stage, right? And that's what we are all about. But we just don't talk about other people. We talk about our own selves because we're going through this. And this is how we can help each other. Now, for you, welcome to Rebel with a Cause, sister. Officially.
Announced
Well,
it. Nobody knows, but yes,
Exactly.
this
I am.
Rebel with a Cause, I created a journal. I actually created this last week because I have a couple of brothers and sisters who would love to be part of Rebel with a Cause, but the scholarship literally ended last Sunday. And I said, okay, how about this? You just keep writing on why you are a rebel with a cause. And this one's like what, $7 or $8 really. And so what I did is I asked them, what would you like to be in there? So I put like, your to-do list, like call and email, reminders, due dates, a little bit of notes, follow up. Follow up is important, guys. And then of course your to-do list, because I'm big on to-do list. And then at the end, there's also notes in here for you to actually write down whatever that comes up for you, right? But I'm gonna redo the back. The back, I actually put ideas are the sparks that light the path to innovation. And I said, follow your heart, reach for the stars. I'm going to redo this because I'm going to dedicate all the proceeds in this little notebook to Jess. And I'm going to find, if you guys know, if you're watching, there's about almost 800 people watching us on YouTube right now. If you guys could tell me a nonprofit who's been in business for 3 to 5 years, legit nonprofit, okay, for autistic children, please let me know. And then another one I'm looking for is for somebody, really young people of mental health, depression, anxiety, that's going through suicidal thoughts and things like that. That's another one that I want to support with our book, for the proceeds and that. But this one's going to be dedicated for Jess, and I will put it for the autistic children out there on under her name. I want to make sure that it's honoring her and her memory, because I know what I want, but this is not about me. This is about Jess and what she wants. And the last conversation that we had, because I always ask, what are you going to write on Rebel with a Cause? She's like, I really want to write about my experience in the healthcare industry. I want to have them to have a little bit more of compassion, and that not making everybody a number. And I'm so scared when I did this and they told me nothing has changed, but everything has changed for me. And I want them to be true to their words and really care about each individual that they're touching, to be careful, right? To be careful. And so I'm going to dedicate that for Jess. What are
If
you
I may
guys
say,
about?
if I may say,
Yeah.
originally, like when I found out that I had got this spot, in my mind I was like, well, obviously I can't talk about the current legal situation, so that's got to wait for another book. I was like, okay, I want to talk about leadership. And basically, like, I had like 4 titles, and I'm just looking at the titles, like which one was resonating. But I think, like, especially after today, if maybe I could just like ask for, because I know I'm gonna need probably like some extra mentoring time, and both of you guys are already so busy. But that's what bonded Jess and I, was one of the main things was our similarities with the medical. So maybe you guys can help me. I can do, that's what I can do, because I know exactly what she's talking about. I've been through what she's been through, and that can be, I can help spread that awareness, knowing that we had those intimate conversations, and I know I can get her message out there.
Mike. Did you just say Medea? Yes, I know it's a West Coast thing. Keith was throwing shade at me from the West Coast. Listen, I understand. I totally get it, because that's why I don't have that many friends here on the West Coast, because backstabbers are everywhere here in California. I'm just saying. So that's why I have very limited physical friends. I do have mom friends. We do yoga and wine, just saying. We do that at least once every month, and we do spa, and we deserve it. Dealing with our children, they're very smart, and yeah, they're a handful. So we need a break for sure. But yes, Mike, I did say Medea. Um, Michelle, there's this. You're new to us, but we know how you feel. We are never too busy to help you. Just know that.
No,
Never.
I know that. I was just saying, like,
No,
it's more a mental note, like, hey, Michelle's gonna need some extra
no,
time. Let me write this
our
down.
Don't
commitment
worry
is
about
to
it.
help you. This is not our first rodeo. And for those of you, I'm speaking to you, I know you're watching. For those of you who said, oh, if you're in an anthology, you're not a real author, keep that to your head voice rather than voicing it out. You actually should concentrate on your own journey of being an author before you throw shade at people. I'm just saying, right? Because you could be an author and not a published one, and you're still considered an author. Look at copyright
Yeah.
law, uspto.org, if you need to look it up. But unpublished and published is still yours, right? Some people don't know how to publish it. Some people who think they know how to do it and publish doesn't really know. And I know that you don't know what you're doing, but we're not going to go there. All I'm saying is, any authors, whether it's a poetry, self-publish, or Amazon only, or anthologies, are you going to tell me that Jess is not an author? Are you gonna tell me that because she's in the anthology and she doesn't have a book on her own? Are you gonna tell me that? Are you gonna tell all Jess's friends that she's not an author because she's on Beyond Boundaries? You're gonna have a lot of hurt coming your way. Okay? I'm just saying. Jess's name is here. By the way, this is not just on Amazon. It's everywhere. Just saying. For
Just
a book who's not being an author, right? So funny.
I can go to Powell's and get a copy. They'll
I can
order
go
it
to
for me.
Target.
No problem.
Yeah, I can go to Barnes and Nobles. It's not just Amazon, right?
Nope.
So instead of judging people on who they are and what they are, concentrate on yourself. Concentrate on what you can level up. Rebel with a Cause is literally human beings going through their own adversity, writing about it so that our great, great, great grandkids or friends now or in the future can see what we went through. It's just a little piece of us, right? It's not this huge story or memoir about yourself. It's just a little piece of you to be left behind. I wish I knew Jess's entire story. But from this story alone, I can already tell what Jess was going through, right? What say you, Sister Susanna?
She put a lot into that chapter because I remember working with her on it because I was the one that was editing with her. When I read it the first time, number one, I didn't have to do a whole lot of different changes. I didn't have a lot of suggestions, but I had some. I gave it to her, and I gave it to her like evening, our time, West Coast. And within 2 to 3 hours, she's East Coast, and she had sent back the document with all her revisions. And I just go through it. And it's like, wow. And she put so much of her own story in that chapter. I mean, we really do get a good idea of what she went through in that chapter. And then you've had her on your show, I've had her on my show. So we've had opportunities to get more information about her and what's there. So I think between the shows, and if Michelle's up there going, me too, it's like you put just take our 3 shows, put them together, and we're gonna have more of her story plus the book. So the story, the legacy is there because it's being told in various pieces, various places, but it's there.
Michelle, what about you? What's your story and audio rooms with our dear sister Jess?
So, well, we met in an audio room, and then that's what led to us talking off of the platform. But it was just that, like, I held an audio room where we was discussing like our lives with the epilepsy, the medicines, the hospitals, the doctors, like the trauma of just everything. And but that's what bonded us. Like they like call it, like a bad bond or whatever. I don't know, but like we could talk the bad, dark, negative things with each other, but with us, because of how we could resonate with each other and have both lived multiple brain surgeries and epilepsy and bad schools and family things, like we found the light in the dark together, like with it. And her soul is so beautiful. Like we both, like I'm telling you how we align. It was just we're both like, we're gonna save the world. Like let's go.
We're still gonna do that. Mike, you're so funny. He's like, my day. Do you know, brothers, English is my seventh language. I want to have
Idea.
you. I wanna have you speak Tagalog, okay, bro? It's so funny. Oh, and you still owe me a camo hat that says "Rebel" with a cos in it. Yep, I have swags with this one. Um, you are loved. You're enough. You're worthy. You are important. That is. Ollie says, "My door is always open to you, Michelle. We are here for you," and I love that. I
Oh,
really
he knows I've called him at 3. Well, I thought it was earlier, but it was 3 o'clock his time. So, and he does answer. He's real. He shows up. Like it's real life.
Kinga, she's like, excuse me, that's ridiculous. Sorry, there's any haters, sister. Yep, yep, it's okay. You can hate on me. I'm fine with it. It's just I don't engage.
I
You can
wish
have
the shade would
wrinkles.
come on a sunny day.
I'm not having wrinkles, sorry. Not for you, not for anybody else. By the way, as we celebrate Jess, there's also another sister whose birthday is today. Her name is Dee Hooch, and I don't think she is watching. She's somewhere else, but can we sing happy birthday? Can you guys sing happy birthday with me for Dee?
You can
We can
sing.
try.
Okay, ready? Karaoke time. Where's Noni when we need her? Okay, and five, four, three, two, one, go. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you. Come on.
happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you, Susanna.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, dear sister. Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you and many more. I love birthdays. Listen, my favorite birthday song is from 50 Cent, guys. It's called Go Shorty. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. That's just me.
99, right? 2000.
Right? Yeah, I love that song for real. I learned in first grade someone that wrote in a published book is an author. Has the definition changed? Only
No,
for
that's still the definition. But they cannot even be published and they're still an author.
that's right. It's only changed on the minds of the people who belittle others, who thinks that they're above everybody else, who can't share the stage and the milestones of others. Um, that has changed for them. But for us, it's always going to remain collaboration over competition. Also, guys, reciprocity. I know it's a big word, right? But it's been used a lot. What that means is when you want something from any of us, reflect of what you have done for us,
And it's
right?
not money. It's not
No,
money.
it's not about money. When
A
you
lot of
ask,
people take it right there because you're not
yeah,
buying
no,
books, purchasing programs, or a lot of people, and like that's what I say about my platform. I get humbled that somebody says I'm doing this amazing thing and there's this amazing room, but the reality is what Keith and I are doing in this podcast and the things that we're building, like it's not for us. It is for everybody else. Like I don't want. There's no gain in my mind when we go into those 8-hour events. Sometimes, like, what does somebody else need?
Ollie said, if Jess wasn't on boundaries, I wouldn't know her. So here's a little tidbit. Before she actually was on boundaries, she talked to me. She DM'd me and I said, oh, can we Zoom? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. And I wanted to know her story a little bit more. I'm big on stories. Like when you get into my anthology, I don't do repeats. I'm
No.
no, I have ADHD, so I can't do boring. I just can't. I don't do repeats of title or anything like that because I want it to be like at the moment, right? It's like real life. When you actually move on to today's day, today is already yesterday for tomorrow. Does that make sense? Like there's no such thing as repeats. I want it to be that. And I always want to look for the story because I'm all about the story and the impact and the legacy that you're creating when you are gone. And so I talked to her about her story. I'm like, oh my God, that is so amazing. Let's put it out there so people are aware, right? And so she said I will continue. So my thing with them is even though you're in this anthology, once the book is out, I'm going to continue your legacy. So I put this beyond boundaries to like 1400 press releases. Okay, so it's all out there in 1400 press releases, including the UK. Rebel with a Cause, I'm about to put this on press releases and I'm gonna push my envelope. I don't know if the press release room people are gonna allow me, but I'm going to put this in there with every single co-author's names. I don't know if they're going to approve it, but that's my commitment anyway. Because we need to amplify our message as much as we can so that it can be heard and so we can make strides. There's no point of just doing it in our own little circle. There's 8 billion people, right? There's no point of doing that. That's why there is no such thing as competition. Like you can't compete with 10 people and then drag everybody else because of whatever and then camp here, business there and click here. We don't have time for that. We should be all at once doing something for everybody. Michelle, how do you feel about Rebel with a Cause?
I feel that I ain't everybody's cup of tea, and my story might not sit nicely with people, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm the one that has to live my life and walk my path. I'm authentic. My story, I don't lie, so it's not going to change. It's the truth. And you can not like it. You can support me, not support me. Like, that's okay. Like, I'm the one that has to live this life, and I'm not trying to please nobody else. I'm me, and take what you get.
You are a rebel. The part of being a rebel is not to care about what others say, is to do what you feel is right for everybody else. It's not about you. At the end of the day, you're doing something for somebody else. It's not about you. So make it stop thinking like it's about me, it's about me, it's not about you. It's about other people. And you need to believe what you're saying because you're preaching what I'm saying, but you're not doing what I'm saying. And you're not doing
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
actions got to align with words. They have to, because like you can tell me all day long one thing, but then the moment I need to see something tangible in the action form and it's not there, like you might as well just act like we never met. Like, I am very good at disassociation. Like, I don't need a conversation, a text, or a phone call to continue breathing from you.
I love it. You're like, I don't care about that. Dude, I'm very good at that. Okay, Mike, seriously, my first language is American Hillbilly. I'm not a Webster for sure. Mike is freaking hilarious. Seriously, man.
I'm
So
still thinking
Sam,
about being here for Halloween.
I know, right? I'm gonna be a zombie. I'm gonna have Jen Lin here. We're gonna do zombie makeup. Susanna, Rebel with a Cause. Have you thought about what you're gonna write as far as your chapter?
I haven't hit that moment yet. I mean, both of us, it's that same thing. It's just like picking the title. We can have ideas floating around, but sometimes it's not until we sit there. It's like we got to start spewing something. We got to start putting something on the page, and being a rebel. Part of it too is I can look at so many pieces of my life, and part of it is how much do I want to go into some of those things. I've touched on them before, but I don't want that to be how people view me. So in many ways, that is my being a rebel. Is like I'm tired of people. I'm tired of telling a piece of my story that all this does is put me in a box, and I'm done with the freaking boxes.
Yeah. Danielle says actions not aligned with words equals manipulation.
That's
Yeah.
that's not a lie.
Michelle's like,
I
um,
mean, I work on this with my daughter in her therapy, and my daughter is 11 years old, and she can tell you when an adult is manipulating her.
yeah. It's funny. Mike is going for me as Halloween. Wait, is it a redhead me, a blonde me, a dark me?
No,
Pink,
listen, you
Me?
was on
gotta
the
be
YouTube.
the pink hair.
I'm pretty sure you was blonde, but we had a big old conversation about it in the comments. He was going as you. I'm going as Mike. Somebody said they was going as Suzanne. Oh, this is a whole conversation.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. I think we should have a panel Halloween version of Level Up. This is gonna be fun. I think it would be really cool. Rebel with the cause forever. That's right. Guys, speaks on what's in your heart. I have so many things going through my head right now of what I wanna um write about Rebel with a Cause. But I think I'm gonna focus the Rebel with a Cause on um, straight and narrow path for me. Like my young self would be snappy and be vindictive and going for you kind of thing because I don't take no crap from nobody. But my older self, man, being 50 makes me really want to be a grandma or something. But seriously, like my older self right now, I'm reflecting, it's just not worth the energy.
Mm-mm. The
And
energy you send into the negativity is the energy taken away from that positive impact we're trying to create.
yeah, I think I don't know. I'm thinking, and Susanna knows better because I have ADHD too, but like my title would be like, Take Me to the Moon. I feel like that's literally where it is. Like, you cannot go where you know where it is, where the destination is, but you know that you cannot go there easily without certain specific, right, ship to get there. That's the whole thing going on in my head, like take me to the moon, but then that's like rebel with a cause, take me to the moon. um that's the first thought that I was thinking, because there's so many ups and downs, and I want to give it to anybody who is trying to elevate people. And if I didn't have a strong support team, and if I didn't have my community and I didn't have you guys, I probably would stop what I'm doing, because it's not easy to be me. It's not easy to ignore negativity and ignore people who's trying to pull you down and still trying to like be straight. Mike talks to me as well because he's going through that. It's hard to be a leader today in communities because there's always those jealous people that will try to drag you down. And it's really hard to focus. But if you have a certain amount of friends who actually truly care about and see what you're doing for the community, I love you guys so much. Like, thank you for being here. Also wanted to say thank you to YouTube. We did hit 1,000. We're at 977 right now. I thought we had 700. So thank you, YouTube. Um, Michelle, what are some of the things that you can say? You know, you're going through a lot. What are some of the either mantra words that you use, or how to be kind to yourself? Because your daughter is watching you.
She's downstairs on the TV watching. I thought, oh, my journal's over there. I fill my journal just with everything, and I don't journal like most typical people. So I like Dear Diary, but it's just anything like right here, like because I had to like set this area up where I'm at right now. Like it literally just began today, so that's why the walls are bare. But I needed a different office area to sit in. So like I got always believe in the beauty of your dreams. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broke down into steps becomes a plan that creates action and allows dreams to become true. It says, always be strong, be brave, always be you, never not be authentic. And then it says, the last one is pretty great. It says, if making you happy cost me my happiness, I can't afford you.
I love that. I love that. I mean, even Bible says, if you are not for me, then you are against me.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple, right? How about you, dear sister Susanna? What's your other mantras that you tell yourself other than your faith?
I don't really have. It's just, for me, it's always been chugging through each day, just trying to find the way to shut down the squirrels and move from point to point. Uh, I've never really gotten into mantras, so I'm just being straight up. I don't have any mantras.
We're going to change that. I just gave you a thing. I'm going to send you an email like, this is your mantra for today. This is your mantra for tomorrow. And let's go.
Right, I got one too. I'll text you every morning a mantra.
Right? Accountability group here. You don't have mantra? I'll give you mantra. You're going to be in abundance. We live in an abundance, okay, and not scarcity. Now, before we end the show, I can't believe we're already ending. It's craziness. I want to give you time and space to celebrate life and celebrate each other and celebrate you. What are some of your advice? If this is your last day right now, what's your impact and legacies advice for your great grandkids and your children?
Me or Suzanne?
You? You.
Mine, I wake up every day and I just want to be better than I was yesterday. I have a very clear vision for what I'm actively pursuing and the impacts it can have on the world and will have on the world. They've already began. And I just know that like I want to make my daughter proud, and I want to know that when she's my age and I'm no longer walking this earth, I committed to doing action things and real life things that she's never going to have to face the adversities that I've faced. She'll face adversities because there's always going to be adversity, But these damaging ones that I've had to survive, she should never have to go through that.
Thank you. Our great grandkids will definitely needing to hear that. How about you, dear sister?
Be your authentic self. Be who you were created to be, not who everybody else is trying to tell you you are. And there's a reason why I got tired of being told who I am, what I'm supposed to do, to be, all that other garbage. When reality is, I know who I am. Nobody just bothered to ask. But then I went through too many years of trying to fit their box. And I know so many other women go through the same thing, and vets are doing it too, especially when they get off duty, off out of the military. That's where I'm at right now. It's help help women to see that they can take control back of their lives. They know who's got it. They take it back. Understand that they can take it back, and then take that first step beyond the box, so we can drop the boxes. We can stop feeling like we have to be that which we're not.
Okay, I have a letter for you guys. That's how I cope with my sadness. I'm always doing poetry and writing. I don't know what comes out of my mouth. Don't blame me. It's in my head. So I got to get it out. I said, "Dear friends, I wanted to take a moment to write to you all to share something that's been on my heart. Life is a way of getting busy, and sometimes we don't always get the chance to express how much we appreciate the people around us. So today, I want to do just that. Each one of you holds a special place in my life. You've been there in the good times, laughing alongside me, and in the tough moments, offering support and comfort. The memories we've created together are priceless, and the bond we share is something I deeply treasure. As we continue on this journey, I want us to remember the importance of lifting each other up. Life can be unpredictable with its ups and downs, but one thing I know for sure is that with friends like you by my side, there's nothing we can't face together. Let's continue to encourage one another, to push each other to be our best selves, and to celebrate every victory, no matter how small. I also want to remind us all to take care of ourselves. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to nurture our own well being. But when we take the time to grow, to learn, and to heal, we not only better ourselves but also become better friends, partners, and people. Let's commit to leveling up, not just for ourselves, but for each other, so that we can continue to share this beautiful journey together. Thank you for being the incredible people that you are. Thank you for your kindness, your understanding, and your unwavering friendship. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, and I'm excited for all the adventures, the challenges, and triumphs that lie ahead. With all my love and gratitude, CJ.
It's beautiful. And we do. We get caught up in the hustle and bustle, and the calls fade away, the texts fade away, and you got to just remember, like, don't let it take a tragedy to remind you to check in.
Yeah, we need to check in. Harassment 101, it's going to start tonight. We're going to have texted you, like, are you okay? We love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. We do have to end because this is a TV show. I know it's on YouTube, but it's also going to be on our Roku channel and the web. Love you guys so much. Please take care of each other. Bye, everybody. Michelle, Susana, do not go anywhere.